How's it going, you guys? My name is Christian O'Boyle, and I am a voice actor, streamer, designer, and a small business entrepreneur. It's been a long time coming to actually introduce myself. It's been about, a year and a half since I started doing things on this YouTube channel with Behind the Slate and some of my other voiceover stuff. So I actually want to properly introduce myself and kind of give you an idea of what I'm planning for this channel and future videos and stuff like that, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what potentially can be coming from this channel. Now, again, as I mentioned, I am a voice actor, streamer, designer, small business, entrepreneur, photographer, etc. One of the reasons why I want to introduce and give you a backstory of who I am and what I do is to kind of give you an idea of what potentially can be coming from these videos. So in 2012, I got my first DSLR camera, and as soon as I did that, I thought I was a professional. Don't do that. Bad idea. So because of that, I actually didn't get a lot of work. I got a couple of portraits here, headshots, and the occasional wedding. I was still trying to figure out my craft in editing and kind of finding my style, my genre. In general, it's a really bad idea just to start a business. Just because you like the idea doesn't necessarily mean you should. It was about 2015 when I photographed my first real estate photography, which I really enjoyed. I found this niche that I really had a passion for. About 2016, I actually started photographing for interior designers and actually started really getting into doing interior design and architectural photography with the occasional headshot and wedding just to fill in the side. One of the things that I kind of wanted to put out there is just because you like the idea and you have the gear doesn't necessarily mean you should just jump in head first without actually doing some research before doing so, because again, like I said, I started doing photography and I had no idea what I was doing. So thankfully now I really enjoy, and I do have a strong business for my photography. Unfortunately, during the quarantine of 2020, it's been basically dead, but I'm hoping that we'll pick back up when things start opening up as well. About 2.5 years ago, I started doing voice acting. This kind of came along. My father-in-law is a game developer and he was working on a game. He asked everyone in the family if we wanted to voice in the project, and we all said yeah. I told him, hey, I got a $50 microphone. I'll just stick it down in this room and we'll start recording. We'll hit the record button and we'll go. That's without any research. So I started doing some research into voice acting. Now, at this point, I've had about 4 years on stage acting with my wife. As I started doing research on voice acting, I started realizing that it's not just set a microphone down and start recording. It's a lot more intense, and I actually started falling in love with the craft and how intense and diverse it was, and how much you can do with it. So I started playing with it. I brought up the idea to Jessie. I said, hey, what do you think about voice acting? She goes, yeah. I said, is it okay if I start voice acting? She goes, yeah. It's like, do you want to do voice acting? She goes, that sounds fun. I said, so here's the thing. You need a booth, which is big. She goes, yeah, what hobby of yours isn't? I'm a drummer. I have all my photography, which takes up half a room of photography gear. She goes, why not just throw another thing in there? And so I started voice acting, again, mostly as a hobby, but always my hobbies turn into something a little bit more, and this started becoming a business, and it is a business that I truly enjoy. I've met so many wonderful people, so many people in the community, and really learned how to market and go further than I had learned with photography. And I've applied a lot of the things that I learned in photography, like branding and brand identity, and brought it into voiceover. And I met Tony Weiss, who is my business partner for Immerse Productions. We co-founded an audio production company. I actually do a lot of casting for the company and a lot of the marketing, while he does all the audio production and stuff like that for the demo productions. And we kind of are a great team in balancing that. We founded this. I started designing some logos for Immerse Productions. I designed a little logo, and I just started designing a website on Wix. He really enjoyed those designs, and he asked me if I wanted to design him a logo for Tony Weiss voice acting, and so I designed him a logo and a website. That kind of started snowballing into its own venture. I do some website design for voice actors in the community, just to kind of give them a good website that kind of gets them going. Now I do use Wix instead of WordPress because, again, I used WordPress for my photography, and I learned the ins and outs of WordPress, but it's a lot. It's a lot of backdoor editing and stuff like that. I wanted something that was simple for my clients just to go in, make a couple tweaks and edits so that they can continue working and not have to contact me every time they needed to change. And so that's one of the reasons why I enjoyed Wix, had the simplicity of their design and their platform. It's been about a month now, and my wife and I started streaming on Twitch. Mr. and the Mrs. is our channel. Within 3 weeks, we actually made affiliate. One of the things that kind of became is that I learned, and I took everything that I learned from voice acting and photography and designing, and I brought that into streaming. I brought my networking, I brought my connection skills and my marketing and my branding. I just brought that all over and started applying it to streaming. So one of the things I really like to do is, again, I tried to do as much research as possible just to hit the ground running. So one of the things I want to do with this channel is kind of go over growing a small business, doing your research in terms of starting something and learning what you're going to be doing, and at least getting the knowledge to understand what you're getting into. So that way, when you do start, you are starting on the right foot. Whether that's building up a community, creating a brand identity, learning the ins and out of your software that you're going to be using. If you're going to be doing streaming, you got to learn OBS and overlays and all that stuff. If you're going to be doing voiceover, you're going to have to learn DAWs and audio reflections and microphones and everything. And so one of the things I want to do is kind of just start going and how to build a small business and how to start researching what you really want to do and how you're going to do it. I'll continue posting voiceover content on this channel, whether it's my demos, other voiceover content, or maybe even some videos that is specifically for editing audio and stuff like that. I'm hoping some of these videos will kind of cross and merge with the streaming and the voiceover and the business. I'm really hoping they'll all come together. So if you'd like to see videos like this, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell button to stay notified, and click that like button. Also, leave a comment down below if you have any questions that you would like me to go over. I would definitely love to answer any questions, and I really look forward to see where this journey takes us. So from there, we'll see you later.